What's up? This is Plini. I'm at the Music Zoo in New York with Strandberg guitars, about to do a clinic, talk about how sick the guitars are, talk about how good it is to play as fast as you can at all times. Pretty much like my goal in life came from something that Tosin said to me. We were sitting around somewhere drinking a coffee and talking about life, and he said that his goal in life was to low-key just make sick shit all the time. And like, we're sitting in this sun-drenched European city and life's good, and I was like, yeah, that kind of is it. But I mean, more specifically, Aaron taught me from intervals, taught me that gear matters and professionalism matters. So, I mean, I still travel with an Axe FX in a suitcase surrounded by socks and underwear, but eventually I'm going to invest in a rack case. And like on the last tour and a couple of tours before that, we've started getting more professional, using MIDI switching, and that's why some of the sounds that just happened there were not as they should have been, because the rack with the laptop and a whole bunch of MIDI wasn't doing its job. Yeah. I think the first time I saw a Strandberg was from Chris Letchford, who plays in Scale of the Summit. He got, I can't remember, I think it might be something like number 2, like the second Strandberg ever built. And because I followed him, I kind of just saw that he was getting this guitar, and there's a whole photo gallery of this thing that just looked unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Looked totally crazy. And at the time I'd been playing an Ibanez S-Series for probably 8 or 9 years, and the locking nut was starting to rust, and it was kind of like in the back of my head, maybe it's time for a new guitar, but I didn't really know what. So that happened, and then I saw Misha from Periphery got one, and Tosin was playing one, and there was that like viral NAMM video of him thumping on a Strandberg. So I kind of thought, if all these people that I respect who sound good are touring and recording with these instruments, are using them, then they must be pretty good. So I sent pretty much the first business email I ever sent to Ola, who started the company, being like, hey man, or probably, hello sir Strandberg, I am the greatest guitarist in the world, but you don't know, I want free guitars. It wasn't really like that. And then we Skyped, got along really well, and at the time they weren't even making 6 strings, so it was kind of good timing for me because I had contacted them just as they were starting to do the thing that I was interested in. And then eventually started playing them, got closer and closer with Ola, and then a guy called Ed, who runs the USA component of the company. And then I guess enough people, such as yourselves, cared that I get to kind of be a bit of an ambassador for them, even though I don't know much about how gear works. Do you feel like you wish you played more guitar or had more time to, and your life gets in the way? I think, sorry, I started sounding like one of those ads. Is your life getting in the way of your guitar playing?
Strandberg will laugh.
Yeah, I mean, if you can try to just throw money into this general area and see if that helps.
I bought one and I still suck. So.
That's part of the trick. Anyway, what was I saying? I think one of the most helpful things I've ever heard someone say, and I can't remember who, so I'm going to pretend it's my own advice, is take your guitar out of the case, put it somewhere that you see it when you're doing something else. Whether that's literally on your bed so you can't go to bed without picking it up. Because you'll pick it up, you play it for 5 seconds, and then that'll turn into 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or whatever. I think the reason I learned other people's songs was because there was so much stuff on the instrument that I didn't know how to do, and I didn't understand how it could be done. So that's the best way to kind of develop your own playing, is to play what sounds good to you.